Hi, I'm Samantha and I'm here at the Stitchin Post, and today we are going to make some Christmas star ornaments. So this is what we're making, and there's no sewing, just some pressing and folding. That's it. And what you'll need to make these stars is a 6-pack of fat quarters, and we have them in 3 different color sets. Some flatter spray, and some thread to hang your stars when you're done, and an iron. All right, so here's what you're gonna do. So the first thing you're gonna do is cut your fat quarters into strips, and each star needs 4 strips that are 4 inches by 14 inches. Okay, so you can see I've got my strips already pre-cut, and then this one is pressed in half, and then the next thing you're going to do is press it into quarters, bringing the sides in to the middle. So that's what I'm doing here. When I do this, I leave a tiny gap right at that center pressing seam, because then when you fold it, you get a nice clean edge. If you push your fabric all the way in until it meets, it'll be a little bit thicker on the edge, and I just kind of like that nice clean edge. All right, so I've done one side. I'm gonna flip it around and do the other side. This little iron is awesome for doing smaller things like this and being able to see right where that press seam is in the middle, instead of scorching your fingers like I was doing when I was using my big iron. All right, so I've pressed it into quarters. I'm gonna fold it back so that it's now in quarters and give it one final press. And I forgot to mention that when I was cutting my strips, that's when I sprayed the whole thing with flatter. It gives the fabric just a little bit of crispness and helps it keep the fold better, and helps it keep these nice creases that you're spending all of this time putting in, okay? So you would do that to all 4 strips, okay? And I've got a set over here that I've already done that with. So we can push the pressing board aside. Okay, so yeah, I'll move that out of the way. So here's our 4 strips. You can do them in any combination you like. So with our 6 packs, you're gonna get 6 different fabrics. And you can see, if you look at the stars, you know, I chose to do 2 fabrics for each star and get 8 different combinations of fabrics together. So no stars are exactly the same. But you can do all 4 fabrics that are the same. You can do 4 different fabrics. You can do whatever you like, but this is how I did it. Okay, so you've got your 4 strips. So we're gonna take 2. I'm gonna start with these 2. And I like to keep the folded part toward the center. So I'm gonna turn them so that the center is facing each other. I'm gonna fold one away from me, and you wanna leave about, I don't know, what is that, about 2 inches, 1.5 inches? Something like that. You don't have to be exact. And then I'm gonna fold the other one towards me, okay? I'm gonna do the exact same thing with these 2 strips. Face them to the center. I'm gonna fold one towards me and fold one away from me, okay? And now we're gonna put them together. Okay, so we're gonna have to turn these guys, and what I want is to keeping the folded part to the center. So I'm actually gonna have to flip that over. You want to weave them so that this, you're putting the end that opens up into the end that is closed on the opposite strip. So I'm gonna put that through there, and then here I've got the closed end and the opened end, so I'm gonna put that way. and I've still got all of my pieces facing the middle. It's really, you don't have to do that. It's just, I just like it that way. I find it neater. Okay, so I needed to flip that over so I can do that again and keep my thing to the center. So closed end, opened end inside, and closed end, and then this one has the open end to put inside. Okay, so now we've got our strips. You can see that they're connected, and we're gonna pull them up until they're all nice and tight. Okay, so you want to keep them flat but good and snug. All right, so now you can see we've got all these shorter pieces on the top here, so you want to flip it over so you've got your longer pieces on the top, and then we're going to fold this layer. So just fold it back, fold it back, fold it back, and then the last piece, when you fold, you're gonna have to weave under the first piece. So now you should have roughly 4, equal pieces. I'm sorry, 8, 4 sides of equal pieces sticking out of your folded square. And again, I'm gonna just make sure it's nice and tight without folding any of my fabric. All right, and now it doesn't really matter what side you work from. I kind of just go back and forth. You're gonna fold. We're gonna do this to each strip, so I'll show you a couple times. Fold away from you till it makes this point, right? And remember, this is what we're going for, is we're making these little points at the top. So you're gonna fold it away from you, flip it over, fold it down so you've got a triangle, and now you're gonna fold it in, okay? So you can see my piece is a little long here. So I had folded, flipped it, I fold it down again, so now I've made this triangle. Like I've talked about before, can you see this little line that I leave space? That's again gonna help me get a nice crisp point, okay? And what I wanna do here is I'm gonna clip off the extra fabric, okay? So we're gonna tuck this in, so we don't want it sticking out past that piece of matching fabric, okay? So you can see it's gonna be covered. So I'm gonna fold this in half now, make sure I've got my point the way I like it. And then if you just kind of fold it back, you'll find the little pocket there, and you're just gonna tuck your extra fabric in there. Make sure it's lying flat, and there you go, you made your first point. So if you leave enough slack, I don't think you need to glue or stitch them down. If you're worried about it coming out, feel free to stick a little bit of glue in there or go back and hand tack them down when you're done, up to you. But all of these are not glued or stitched. Okay, so now I'll just do it one more time to make sure you've got it, okay? So we fold it, I'm just using my fingers to press that down, fold it again, keeping a little space in between there, but still getting a point. I'm gonna trim my fabric. Now I'm gonna fold it in half. Okay, and tuck it in the pocket. Okay, so, and that's all there is to it. You just do it on, all 8 pieces, and this is what you end up with. And then the thread, all I do to hang it is stitch right through the top in between, because I like them to hang this way, but if you prefer them hanging this way, you can stitch it and hang it that way. Totally up to you. All right, I hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks.